Welcome to the JJ's Declutter podcast, where we tackle the mess and stress to make space for what truly matters. I'm Janis, here with Julie, and together we're sharing our best tips, tricks, and a little humor to help you declutter your home, mind, and life. Whether it's procrastination or piles of stuff, we're here to help you make real progress. Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome back to the JJ's Declutter podcast. I'm Julie.
I'm Janis.
And today we have a Magazine Moments episode for you. And it is from travelers, you know, the insurance people with the umbrella. It's called 10 Packing Tips, How to Pack a Suitcase for Vacation. So Janis, tell the masses what we're talking about.
All right, so they gave 10 tips on how to pack a suitcase for vacation. The first tip is to make a list because it's easy to forget items. And I 100% agree with having a packing list. So much so that you should have like a basic packing list for, you know, your electronics and your underwear, and I mean, depending on how many days you're going, and then you can adjust it or add or take things off depending on where you're going and for how long you're going. You can keep it on your phone or on your computer. When my kids were younger, we would hand them a packing list, and it was in a plastic sheet so they could check it off when they went, and then we'd wipe it off, and they would check it off when they came home back, because that way they didn't leave anything. And you know, it kind of started when they were in Girl Scouts, and we'd go on camping trips or we'd go on overnights, and every kid would get a packing list so they knew what they should be bringing. And we actually taught them how to pack. Packing lists are a deal breaker. I mean, you really should have a basic list for what you need to take, especially so you can remember medication. And all the little things that we now pack for our electronics. It's crazy.
Right. And like when you're traveling with babies and stuff, you have to have all those little things. And boy, I tell you, it is great if you have a list for the baby and you have, you know, grandmas or something helping you. They can check the list too, so that you don't forget something, they don't forget something. It's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's actually really helpful. But yeah, I totally love lists. And I was a summer camp counselor for the YMCA for many, many years. And boy, I tell you, the lists that they would, you know, send out, it was awesome, because all those kids would show up for camp and they would have their list and things would be checked off. And it was just, it made things so easy. So anyway.
Number 2 is know your limits. They're not talking about drinking. They're talking about how different airlines have different baggage policies, especially now since they just changed the carry-on baggage policies. I think it was in April. So if you're planning on carrying your luggage on, doing a carry-on, you need to know what the maximum size for your airline is. And, you know, it's different from domestic versus international. You bringing your golf clubs, which I don't know how popular it is anymore. Back in the 90s, it was very popular to give you a container and you put your bag in it. And I think it's really expensive now. So unless you're going on a golfing trip and that's all you're doing.
I've seen quite a few when we've been taking our trips. I've seen still dozens of usually men, sometimes a woman, with their golf clubs. And it's usually they're in groups of 2 to 4 usually. So I thought that was funny. We're going to go to Vegas with our foursome and play golf. But yeah, so things like that. And the car seat, if you have things that you can, a carrier or something to zip around it, so to kind of protect it a bit. So that's also a good thing, that you do need to know your limits, and if you're going to be charged for a car seat or for the golf clubs,
and also weight limits.
Right. So if you
So
don't have
you
one of
might,
those fancy dancy fancy things that'll hang your bag and tell you what it weighs,
I
just
do.
get on the bathroom scale, see what you weigh, pick up your suitcase, get back on the bathroom scale, and you're pretty darn close to exactly right. So
Just bought one when they were saying that some airlines are putting a weight limit on your carry-ons. I was like, oh, shoot. And so I actually bought one. Haven't used it yet, but I bought one. So, Julie,
oh
what's
my
number
gosh.
3 on this list?
Number 3, are you going to roll or fold your clothing? So some travel experts recommend that you tightly roll up clothing rather than putting it in the suitcase folded. And actually, that's what I do. The idea is that you may be able to fit more in your bag this way, which I have found it does work for me that way. It also may help prevent your clothing from wrinkling. Now, some of the clothing I do, I have some of those bags that you suck the air out, you roll it up and it pushes the air out and it stays that way. Anyway, so I will fold the clothes that go into those bags and then I get the air out, but they just fit so much more stuff in your suitcase. And that's where, as Janice mentioned, you need to pay attention to the weight of your bags, because you may be putting more in because you've made so much more room.
Because they're flatter.
Yeah. So it is really, really good. I do like to roll my stuff. Sometimes a lot of times it helps it from being so wrinkled if I'm more careful when I roll it. So then moving on, number 4 is you can swap items between bags. So if you're checking your luggage and traveling with a companion, you can coordinate with your partner to pack some of your clothes in each other's suitcase in case one of you gets separated from your bag. Then each of you has at least an outfit. It goes with all the way with you. And I really highly recommend carrying with you your toiletries, especially meds, your toiletries, your jewelry. Usually, like at least one pair of undies. There's nothing like getting stuck in an airport for 3 days and only having one pair of undies. So if you have a spare pair, you could at least wash one maybe in the sink or not.
Okay. So number 5 is use the cubes. So this is the kind of cubes that I own. It's by Gonex, and it's actually is a compression cube. So it has 2 zippers, and it expands like this. I don't know if you can
Okay,
see it.
so for those of you that are just listening, it's basically a square with, where's your zippers at? On each end? I mean,
Well, they're in the middle. So you pack it when it's open, and then you close the top, and then you squeeze the air out by doing the compression zipper. And it actually does work.
I see.
Okay. So I have compression cubes, and I've had these for years. I have something called an Eagle Creek, and at the time that you can't see it?
Nope.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's take off
I'm going to take off the no virtual background. Okay.
Oh.
So this is
there we go.
by Eagle Creek. It's an envelope. So it opens like this, and it has things over here. And it comes with this, which tells you how to fold things. So you put it on top of your clothes and you fold it with it
basically
inside.
what she is showing right now, let me just interrupt real quick. What she's showing right now is basically a piece of plastic with how to fold things pictured on it, and it's about the size of a clipboard, and so it shows you how to fold your things using that so that they will fit.
You fold things over this and you put it into your envelope, and then you slide it out and the clothes stays folded inside here. So you can stack the things that you folded. So when you get to where you're going, your items have very few wrinkles. And
Gotcha. Cool.
I first started using this because my neighbor, who went on at least 2 cruises a year with her family of 5, swore by these because you can pack each person's individually and then stick it in common suitcases. And then when you get there, you hand the ones to them and their clothes are all folded neatly and you can just stick it in the drawers. They come in 3 sizes. This is the medium size. This fits perfectly in my carry-on. And then this is the smaller one, which does fit in my carry-on also, but it's for smaller things. So like if you're using a dress, you might want to do the bigger one because there'll be less wrinkles. They do save space. They help organize things. I mean, before I got these, I used to give my kids gallon Ziploc bags so they could make sure that they had everything, like all their underwear and socks in one and their bathing suits in another one, things like that. So not only does it help contain and organize your things, but sometimes it can help compress things and prevent wrinkling. So I like cubes. I like my little folder. I'm glad I bought it, and I look at them and I'm like, I'm not getting rid of it. Sorry. Nope, it's mine. Oh, and they also say that, and I have done, I have started putting dirty clothes in it. So you know where all your dirty clothes are. And the number 6 is the 311 bag. And this has to do, I mean, we've been living with this for feels like forever. Well, since what?
Since
After,
9/11.
yeah, 9/11.
After
We never used
9/11,
to
we
have to do
really.
this. All the liquids, and liquids include creams, anything that doesn't maintain its shape on its own has to go into this bag where you're allowed, it's 3.4 ounces in a 1 quart bag. And so it includes your toothpaste, your shaving gel, shampoo, makeups. So lotions and creams and things like that need to go in this bag.
Includes sunscreen. So you need to
Yes,
pay attention when you're buying sunscreen for a trip. You need to pay attention to the size that you're getting. So if you get a big bottle, you're going to need to put it into some smaller bottles to be able to take it on the flight with you.
or else they throw it away. Although
Yeah.
I kept seeing that they might rescind the limitation, but I heard it and I've never seen it.
I accidentally had a big one on and they never said anything.
Oh,
But that was
Michaela
when
had a big one.
I was going through the security, and I'm like, okay, how secure is this? As my bag goes through the little x-ray thing, the 2 people were looking at each other and talking to each other. Nobody even looked at the screen when my bag was x-rayed. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. My last flight, I had a candle that I had made at a class that was a head, and
Glitter,
I'd
right?
put glitter on top of it. And so when it went through the x-ray, glitter's like, oh my God, what she got in there? And so I was the first one. I caught a plane after leaving this conference. And so I immediately posted for because the lady was great with me. I immediately posted with everybody, put it in your carry-on so that you can actually just show it to them as you step up. A lot of people
Well,
just didn't think they
I
needed to do that, and they got searched.
so I get searched regularly, and they don't like it when you have a lot of cords that are jumbled.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
carry a lot of cords, and I also usually will carry a tripod when I'm traveling because I'm usually going to see Julie and we tape. And I've learned that when I go through the TSA line and their x-ray and stuff, I put stuff in a bag that I can fold up and put away. But I put all these weird stuff that have triggered their alarms in the past in a
Mm,
separate bag. So if they have to look at anything, they can just look after they goes through and they can actually see, oh, okay, that's
gotcha.
what looks so weird. And it has saved me from having my luggage searched.
It is the just having things that you even think they might want, I automatically just pull it out and put it with my shoes in that tub.
Yeah, exactly.
Just, it's like, I don't want to mess with it.
Same thing.
So yeah. And depending on the airport too, it's like on one way of my trip, it was like, oh, shoes off, and you have to pull your laptop out of the case and all this kind of stuff. On the way home, they I pulling out my laptop, and the guy's like, oh, no, leave it in the bag, it's all good. And I mean, it's just interesting. It's just interesting what they do and don't do depending on the airport. So good luck to all of you if you're airporting it. 7. One of the things they say is to lay out your clothes before, as you're packing. So you're going to lay out your clothes, and then you're going to put half of them away. So you're going to pack items that serve multiple purposes. A scarf can act as an accent piece or a piece of jewelry. Depending on the size of scarf, you can actually even make it into a top or a skirt. But you can use that also just to keep you warm on the plane. Like a pair of black pants can be dressed up or down. You want to limit the number of shoes you pack because they're bulky, and you want to bring footwear that you can use for different purposes. And one of the things that I suggest is, we used to call it the cat suit. So we would suggest that you have, whether top and bottom are the same color, whether it's black, brown, red, whatever, have them. So you've got this one uniform color, and then you just accessorize it. And I usually do it with black, but it makes things last so much longer to be able to just mix and match and leave space to bring home trinkets.
Number 8 is, can you buy it there? So there are some things, yes, definitely, that so you don't worry about packing it and if it's going to get there. If there are things that you can purchase what you need when you get to your destination, it might be worthwhile just doing that. And then, and leaving it there, if depending on the cost. But you need to be careful about what it is and where you're going, because my daughters, who are 5'7", 5'8", recently went to Japan thinking that they were going to buy some clothes in Japan. Well, Japanese people in Japan are usually shorter. So my daughter couldn't find anything that fit her. So she texted me and said, Mom, can you find this dress and that dress and these shoes and take them over to so and so's mom because she's coming in a week? And that's exactly what we did, because she said she would have bought something, but she couldn't find anything. Just make sure you know what's available where you're going if you're going to use that.
So packing your carry-on, number 9. Now that you know how to pack for vacation, let's consider your personal carry-on items for the plane. So you want to think about what you're going to need to be comfortable, whether it's a sweatshirt, your earbuds for a movie, snacks or a meal, sweater, scarf to stay warm, and a beverage. I usually bring, you've got a magazine in the pocket in front of you, so you can always use that as a fan, but I usually have a little fan too, because I can also use that when I'm in an Uber in a hot place. So hand fan is helpful for women of a certain age and those who get too hot all the time. Anyway, what else do we have here? There are a reusable bottle for the trip, can be filled with water after the TSA screening. Don't pack your medications or valuables in your checked luggage, as we said before. Keep them, valuables should just never be checked, period, end of story. Even if you're using a lock, because TSA can take your lock off.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of a bulky book, you might look at putting your book on your phone or your tablet. If you're taking a long flight, bring an extra shirt, underwear, and toothbrush, because you'll feel more refreshed when you land. So,
well, and a lot of people nowadays only take a personal item and a carry-on, whereas before, when they didn't charge for one checked luggage, you would check something and then just bring your personal item. But it's a lot of things have changed, and it can be very expensive unless, I mean, I know that certain people get checked luggage because they have so many, their flying points are so high. If it depends on that. But number 10, because we need to remember who this is by, it recommends getting travel protection because
travel protection. You mean like from travelers who wrote this? I'm so impressed.
Yeah. So, I can see if you're traveling in a large group, and you've paid for a lot of excursions and things like that, I could see making the investment on paying for in traveler's insurance. But I'm trying to think if I ever have purchased it. Fortunately, I've had pretty good luck in traveling. I know my daughter had purchased travel insurance, which was really good because they had to change their flight because somebody had died and they needed to go earlier. So that worked in their favor. Plus they were going to be going on a cruise, which they still made, but their flights to there got all screwed up because they had to leave earlier.
Oh, gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, you can get travel insurance or not. It's, really up to you. And the thing that I noticed, like if I'm flying somewhere and I buy the insurance, it'll always say, as it's trying to sell you the insurance, are you okay with losing this money if this gets rescheduled or something, And so I'm like, oh, you dogs. I have to really think about this. Am I okay with it? I'm just not sure. So it is something to think about. You always hope that you never have to use your insurance, but boy, you're sure glad to have it when you do need it. So there is that.
So I think that's all we have for
all we have on how to pack a suitcase for vacation.
Yeah. This is it for today.
That's right. So until next time, keep it simple.
Keep it intentional.
And as
always, keep decluttering.
Thanks for joining us on the JJ's Declutter podcast. If you're ready to keep simplifying, follow us for more tips and join our Facebook community to share your wins and challenges. Subscribe here because it's always more fun to declutter with friends. And thanks in advance for leaving us a review.